Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shadashi Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtota Shadashi Goswami Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Yamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Dwarka Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, all glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Bhushana Swami Iti Namine Prabhupada Sambandaya Samatra Gaura Kripadaya Satyari Shila Shaktya Krishna Marga Shri Gurave Namaste. Hare Krishna. Before we are reading and hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam today, I would like to use this opportunity to hear a little bit from Srila Prabhupada from the book A Transcendental Diary from His Grace Hari Shauri Prabhu. We are reading English, okay. June 12, 1976. The temple complex consists of an extraordinary mansion built in the 1920s at an original cost of about $3 million. It stands on several acres of land on the bank of a canal leading off Lake St. Clair. It had been built and owned by Lawrence Fisher, a famous American car body manufacturer, Body by Fisher, and was intended as a rather inspired imitation of Louis XIV's grandiose palace in Versailles, France. Originally, many of Fisher's friends had also built similar mansions along the riverbank, but that was in far better days. As the owners moved out, many were vandalized. The Fisher Mansion is one of the few remaining. The neighborhood immediately surrounding our temple is very depressed, most of it a ghetto populated by poor black families. The houses are very run down, some unfit for human occupation, and the district has a reputation for a high crime rate. When the property was up for sale last year, no one would buy it because of the neighborhood. But not caring of this, Prabhupada said that we can live anywhere. The asking price was $350,000. Prabhupada personally dealt with the realty agent, sealing the purchase himself. Typically, Prabhupada began by preaching about the value of his mission and asked the owner to give us the place. The man declined, of course, but jumped at Prabhupada's offer of $300,000 in cash. Prabhupada told us that at the time he had no money and no idea where it would come from, but nevertheless he made the offer because he saw the place as an ideal center for Krishna consciousness. Krishna thus reciprocated and sent the necessary funds by way of two of his disciples from prominent Detroit families, Ambarisha Das, the great-grandson of Henry Ford, and Lekha Shravanti Dasi, the daughter of Walter Reuter, a big Detroit union leader who died some time ago. Prabhupada said that it had been specially kept for us by Krishna. In the morning, Prabhupada took a half-hour stroll around the grounds. There are about 4 acres of lawns and gardens divided by stone walkways and nicely trimmed private hedges. Next to the main house is a swimming pool with changing rooms, now converted into a garden shed. Many varieties of trees and flowers are all around. The entire property is enclosed on 2 sides by a very high wall with a regal front entrance embarred by huge wrought iron gates. On a 3rd side, a fence separates it from some unused land, and the remaining side is open to the canal. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I would like to ask, before we start with the Srimad Bhagavatam, is it better to speak in English or in German? Who of you does not speak German? 1, 2. Und wer von euch versteht English nicer? Huh? Okay. Then with English. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhavanam Brahmanastanam. Bhavanam Brahmanastanam. Dharanam Satvisheshanam. Dharanam Satvisheshanam. Sarva Sattva Gunodbheta. Sarva Sattva Gunodbheta. Prithivi Vritti Lakshanam. Prithivi Vritti Lakshanam. Pavanam Brahmanastanam. Dharanam Satvisheshanam. Sarva Sattva Gunodbheta. Prithivi Vritti Lakshanam. Please. Pavanam Brahmanastanam. Pavanam Brahmanasthanam. Ladies? Kann ich eine englische Gitarre haben, bitte? Prithvi Vritti Lakshanam. Pavanam Brahmanastanam. Danke. Taranam Satvisheshanam. Sarva Sattva Gunotpeta. Prithvi Vritti Lakshanam. Pavanam. Modeling forms. Brahmana of the Supreme Brahman. Sthanam, constructing places of residence. Taranam, containing substances. Satvisheshanam, distinguishing the open space. Sarva, all. Sattva, of existence. Guna, qualities. Utpetaha, the place for manifestation. Prithvi, of earth. Vritti, of the functions. Lakshanam, the characteristics. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The characteristics of the functions of earth can be perceived by modeling forms of the Supreme Brahman, by constructing places of residence, by preparing pots to contain water, etc. In other words, the earth is the place of sustenance for all elements. Purport. Different elements such as sound, sky, air, fire and water can be perceived in the earth. Another feature of the earth, especially mentioned here, is that earth can manifest different forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By this statement of Kapilas, it is confirmed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahman, has innumerable forms which are described in the scriptures. By manipulation of earth and its products such as stone, wood and jewels, these forms of the Supreme Lord can be present before our eyes. When a form of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu is manifested by presentation of a statue made of earth, it is not imaginary. The earth gives shape to the Lord's forms as described in the scriptures. In the Brahma Samhita, there is a description of Lord Krishna's lands, the variegatedness of the spiritual abode, and the forms of the Lord playing a flute with his spiritual body. All these forms are described in the scriptures, and when they are thus presented, they become worshipable. They are not imaginary, as the Mayavadi philosophy says. Sometimes the word bhavana is misinterpreted as imagination. But bhavana does not mean imagination. It means giving actual shape to the description of Vedic literature. Earth is the ultimate transformation of all living entities and their respective modes of material nature. Pavanam brahmanastanam taranam satvisheshanam sarva sattva gunotpetha prithvi vritti lakshanam. The characteristics of the functions of earth can be perceived by modeling forms of the Supreme Brahman, by constructing places of residence, by preparing pots to contain water, etc. In other words, the earth is the place of sustenance for all elements. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananshana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Vaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Matavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Svapadandikam Vairagya Yog Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair Apayanamam Anapipsum Antam Kripam Pudirya Paraduka Duki Sanatanastvam Prabhum Ashrayame Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So with the blessings of all assembled Vaishnavas, I can speak nicely on this verse of Bhagavatam, where the earth is in the center. And I want to a little bit continue with the lecture we heard yesterday from our Agastya Prabhu, where he also talked about the different kinds of scents or smells with with Krishna's description in the Bhagavad Gita, because in the 9th verse of the 7th chapter, Krishna explains Punyo Gandha Pritivyam Cha Tejas Jasmi Vipavaso Chivanam Sarvaputeshu Tapaschasmi Tapasvishu. Krishna says, I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics. The purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Punya means that which is not decomposed. Punya is original. Everything in the material world has a certain flavor or fragrance, as the flavor and fragrance in a flower or in the earth, in water, in fire, in air, etc. The uncontaminated flavor, the original flavor, please make sure that the children be silent. The uncontaminated flavor, the original flavor, which permeates everything, is Krishna. Similarly, everything has a particular original taste, and this taste can be changed by the mixture of chemicals. So everything original has some smell, some fragrance, and some taste. So here it is explained that, because yesterday we heard of really different kinds of contamination or degradation of smell on the material platform, and even we drove a little bit into the direction that we find certain things disgusting, like different foodstuffs which certain type of people prefer. They appear for a devotee really disgusting. So, but we find that here the description is that whatever it may be, the original taste, the original smell, that is actually Krishna. And that is referred to the most important instructions of the Vedas. Smartatam satatam vishnor, vismartavyo na chadujit, sarva vite nishedasyur etayor eva kinkaraha. So many rules and regulations we find, but the most important is to always think of Krishna and never forget Krishna. So whatever a person may prefer to smell or to taste, and however disgusting it may appear for another person, still everyone has the opportunity to think of Krishna by remembering this verse where Krishna says, the original taste, this I am in the earth. So Adi Purusha, he is the original, the enjoyer, the cause of everything. And here we also have a verse from the Brahma Samhita presented by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Venum kvanantam aravinda dalayadhaksham. Bhagavatam sam asidam buddha sundarangam. Kantar bhakoti kamaniya vishesha shobham. Govindam adi purusham tamaham pajami. To find the translation. I worship Govinda, the original Lord, the masterful flute player, whose eyes are similar to the petals of a lotus flower, whose head is decorated with a peacock feather, and whose beautiful form, which has the color of blue clouds, and whose unique loveliness, Shri Prahlad Lakshmana Singh Dev Bhagavan Ki Jai, and whose unique loveliness attracts millions of cupids, love gods, so to say. So this is only one of the 27 glorifications of Krishna as the Adipurusha, which are extremely intense, and we should aim for always thinking of this wonderful Supreme Lord. And today I would like to invite you to a journey. I hope you want to go to a journey with me, because it is not so easy to convince others and tell others about these unique and amazing glories of Krishna, because everything in the material world, as was explained, is contaminated. But there is one quality which we should really, really pray for to Krishna in order to be able to spread his glories. And generally we have to get Krishna's mercy in order to be able to spread his glories, as it is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kali Kalyara Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtana, Krishna Shakti Vinanahana Pravartana. The fundamental religious principle in the age of Kali Yuga is the glorification, chanting of Krishna's holy name. And unless one is empowered by Krishna, one cannot spread the Sankirtan movement. So today I invite you for a journey to develop, because Krishna also wants us to develop qualities in order so that he can use us as an instrument in his mission. And today I want to make a journey with you so that we can a little bit try more to develop this most important and wonderful quality of compassion. Compassion with the fallen, conditioned souls in the material world. So before we do so, or in order to start, we start this journey with a verse also from the Bhagavad Gita, which is in the 4th chapter, verse number 10. It is stated there, Krishna says, Vita raga bhaya krodha man maya mam upashrita bahavo jnana tapasa bhuta madbhavam agataha. Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So 3 qualities are described here by Krishna. which are fear, anger, and attachment. And as we heard in the verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that the earth is doing one thing also, manifests the form of the Lord. And this form of the Lord is not imaginary, because Krishna, with his, as we heard, flute in his form as playing a flute, in his bluish complexion, is revealed to us through the Vedic scriptures. And thus, if such forms appear, they are worshipable. But Mayavadis, they say it is imagination. So what is the reason for such a cruel attitude? We have the answer here. There are 3 reasons why we neglect personality, why we do not accept Krishna as person with form. And these 3 reasons are attachment, fear, and anger. Raga, Paya, Krodha. 3 types of persons have very much difficulty with accepting personality on the spiritual platform. First of all, those who are too much attached to materialism. Too materialistic persons do not want to accept personality on the spiritual platform. And second, we have fear. We have so much experience of frustration and disappointment and pain on the material platform. Do you also have such experiences with relationships on the material platform? Friends, relatives? Did you ever experience something like frustration, pain, disappointment, egoism? Or is it only me? You too. Yes, you are saying yes. You know this. So indeed, the whole material creation is full of this pain and frustration, because there is no luck whatsoever, no happiness in the material world. You can, lifetime after lifetime, we try to become happy on the material platform in so many different forms of demigods, animals, human beings, and higher planetary systems. And as Prabhupada says, but you will never be happy. You will never be happy. Only if you take the Krishna consciousness, then you will be happy. So, due to this frustration, disappointment of personality on the material platform, which we clearly have, life after life, if we get the information that personality on the spiritual platform as well, fear, no, this I don't want. If personality means something on the material platform, and this is also on the spiritual platform, thank you very much. God has a form, God has a personality, no, thank you. Fear. And the third one is anger. Why anger? Because we have so much different paths and ways which are presented to us. We have Buddhism, we have Taoism, we have this spirituality, we have this philosophy, we have this guru, we have this. So much offering is there, so much different kinds of philosophies. If there is so much available, then what can be true? What is the right thing? We just take everything and put everything into the garbage box out of frustration, because we get anger of all these different paths. No one can tell me what is the one thing, the one true thing, as Prabhupada says. May there be one God, Krishna, may there be one activity, devotional service to Krishna, and may there be one book, Bhagavad Gita, as it is. So out of frustration and anger, we also neglect spirituality, because there's so much variety of ways we can take to. So today, this journey I would like to make with you today is a journey where we develop want to develop an understanding for this neglection. And this journey is based on a true story, just to say at the very beginning. So let's go into our journey. I would like to imagine, try to imagine we have a love couple. We have a husband and we have a wife, and they're married happily. The woman and the wife and the man, they are from different countries, different cultures, but no problem nowadays. And then after some happy years, of course, there are also children. Children also belong to family life. The family life without children is like a desert. And then after like 10 years or something like that, they decide to make a beautiful holiday trip to far away country. So they book a flight for 3 persons, the baby, the wife, and the husband. And then just shortly before the flight goes, the husband tells to the wife, please, I just got a news from my work. You have to go before me. I will come later because it's a very urgent thing I have to do with my work. So, okay, no problem. The wife and the baby, they go before, but the husband asks her to take some luggage with her on the journey. So, okay. So the wife goes with the baby, with the luggage of the husband to the airport, and the husband stays back because he has something important to do, but he promises as soon as possible he will also come along. Okay, can happen. And then at the airport, everything is being checked as usually, and then what is found in the luggage that the woman has? What do you think is found there? A little bit more heavy. They found a bomb, very cleverly constructed. They find a bomb, and they talk to the wife and want to have an explanation. And he says he doesn't know about anything. This is the luggage of her husband. And then they try to explain to her. It seems to us your husband is a terrorist. And he was just about to blow you and your baby and the whole airplane into the air. At that moment, I'd like just imagine this. You have a family, you have a husband. 10 years ago, married you very happily. Money, everything is there, even a baby is there. And then you want to go happily on holiday. And then it turns out 10 years of marriage, a baby, just to make a plan to make a terrorist attack and blew tens of people into the air together with your own baby. Try to imagine. It is a true story. It's not imaginary. It happened. Just at that moment when the wife got informed about this fact at the airport with the luggage, just try to imagine what is the psychological reaction of the wife. Try a little bit. How would you react to the police officers? No, it cannot be true. So, excuse me, we just found everything here. We can prove it to you. No. It cannot be true. You can tell me everything, but no, this cannot be true. Excuse me, we have to tell you, somehow we have to explain to you. So the wife was, no. 10 years of marriage, a baby, just to be killed by my own husband. No, this cannot be true. It's like a trauma. It's like you are not able to accept it. It takes maybe years that you digest such a thing. How can a person do such a thing with another person? And the natural reaction is impossible. It did not happen. It did not happen. It happened. It happened. No way. Not possible. So similarly, imagine the situation of the materialistic conditioned souls struggling in the material world, undergoing pain, undergoing frustration, undergoing death. All these things, and then a person tells you God exists, and he knows about all these things. Indeed, he is the controller. Nothing can happen without that he sanctions it. You should surrender to him, and the goal of life is to love him. So, what is the natural reaction of a person with such a frustrative life in the material world. It's very difficult to accept. Very difficult to accept the love of God, which is so much stronger than this disgusting and contaminated material things. And that is indeed the only way how to make a person understand. A person who makes such an experience and goes through such a emotional thing, the only way how you can bring him to the path and convince him is indeed deep love, which is much stronger than this pain. And this is Krishna consciousness. And therefore Krishna consciousness is the only way to make the soul or the persons in the material world healthy again. There is only Krishna who has such a wonderful deep love for everyone that every frustrative experience we made in the material world becomes completely unimportant. Really, no matter how frustrative it was, how deep pain we felt, whatever it was, but if Krishna is there, then everything is all right. Then everyone becomes happy, becomes blissful, and this is a fact. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, playing on his flute, dancing in his abode of Goloka Vrindavan, together with his devotees, cows and cars and cowherd boyfriends. He's having a ever blissful life and invites every one of us to also come there and give up these frustrative experiences in the material world. So we want to invite as many persons as possible. Please also come along. We are on the path. What is the only way to give up these three things? Fear, anger, and attachment. Prabhupada explains in the purport of the Bhagavad Gita, it is to surrender to a spiritual master and under his guidance be engaged in loving devotion and service to Krishna. So our only way is the Guru, the spiritual master, the true representative of Krishna. And that is the proof that Krishna is so much personal, that he sends a personal representative. Therefore we need a personal representative of Krishna. Cannot sit at home, imagine God, and hope that the mercy will come by itself. The way Krishna arranged is that you have to look for a person who knows this Supreme Person. You have to make yourself on the way. Where is the person who knows God? Who is he? How can I love him? How can I know him? How can I get free from these problems of life? Tatvidi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshantite jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Try to find the truth by looking for a spiritual master who has seen the truth. But the devotees are so merciful, they don't wait until the people come here. They go there to the people who are very frustrated and who are in such a traumatic condition as this woman is, completely frustrated with life, and therefore everyone says, no time, don't want to read, don't want to take, have something else to do. And it is up to us to develop this compassion, to understand what is the reason for such a convinced neglection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is so wonderful. It is a trauma, or in German we have this word amnesie. Maybe every one of us knows what is an amnesie. No? You never heard? Huh? Amnesia. So I don't want to go in I'm not a doctor, but our condition in the material world is compared with this. As a trauma, and we forgot this wonderful Lord Sri Krishna, we forgot ourselves. And on the other side, so much frustration and pain here is there in the material world. We experience, yes, it is a fact. Krishna knows about it, yes, it is a fact. But his love is much, much greater, much, much more wonderful than all these negative experiences we make. So when we are convinced about this, then only we can, when we know Krishna's greatness a little bit more, when we develop a little bit understanding for the people, then we will be enthusiastic to approach the people and say, excuse me, sir, and I know you don't have time, and I know you will just continue going your way, and I know you will not look at me. I know it, I understand it, but still I try. And I try again, and I try again, and I try again. And someday he will say, now I saw you the 10th time here, but now I really have to know, what are you doing here? Let me have a look. Now I really want to know it, because a person who is standing all the time here, there must be something in it. And then gradually, step by step, we can break through this frustration, all this pain a person experiences material world, and he opens his heart, and he opens and say, you know what, I like it, it's a nice offering, how much do you want? And then he just gives, and he takes Krishna with him, and this is the most wonderful thing we can do, to sow such a seed into such a deep degraded personality in the material world, that he accepts Krishna, and Krishna himself will be astonished, and he will show us his astonishment, and he will give us the understanding that he's wondering, how did you do that? How did you do it? He is so frustrated and neglecting me so much, but you managed, that he opened his heart and took me. How did you do that? Wow, that's wonderful. So you can conquer over Krishna. With love, you also can conquer over Krishna, and he will give you this feeling that you did something I cannot understand. I want to understand. How did you do it? This love, I want to understand. And Krishna is eager for this love. And he doesn't understand, also it's true, he does not understand the love of his greatest devotees. Therefore he appears as Lord Chaitanya to experience himself. He is eager for this love. So it is worth to take up this challenge, which is given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the challenge of giving Krishna consciousness to others who are completely neglectful. It is a wonderful opportunity for us to develop high love and wonderful experience in our Krishna consciousness by sharing it with others, trying with compassion, with understanding, and in this way we will make so much advancement in our spiritual life that even in one lifetime it is possible for us to go back to Krishna. Yes, it is possible. Like a few days ago I heard a lecture from a Maharaj, and he got a question on his phone from a senior devotee who explains to him that he's struggling in spiritual life with regulative principles, chanting his rounds, association with devotees. And then Maharaj, he tells him, well, go to the temple, visit the temple, offer obeisances, if you have money, give donations, get in an association of devotees, try your best. And then the video stopped, and then shortly after the video stopped, it came back again, the picture, and Maharaj was again on the screen, and he said, actually I just thought about it, and everything I said, I just take it back. It is an emergency situation. Yes, you can go back to Godhead in one lifetime, even if you have so much struggle. Chant 64 rounds every day. Pray to Krishna. Do everything you can. You can do it. Go for it. It's an emergency. So in this way, he was pushing. Chant Hare Krishna. You can do it. Pray to Krishna. So similarly, everyone is in such an emergency situation. Everyone around us is in an emergency situation. More or less, more, some more. But there are people outside, they are all in a really intense emergency situation. Directly going to hell. Sometimes when you are there in the street and seeing all these people, you also tend to develop some anger. No, thank you, no time. Excuse me, no. And sometimes it happens a little bit that you might get angry, although you know you should not. And what then do you want? What is the cause for this anger? The cause for this anger is enjoyment. I want to enjoy something, and because I do not enjoy, therefore I get angry. So what do I want? Do I want to enjoy? You even want to enjoy to see the people suffering because they are not accepting Krishna. Krishna, they shall suffer. They are just neglecting me. I'm trying here my best to do the work of a saintly person, of spreading Krishna consciousness, but they're just neglecting me. Let them suffer. Let them go to hell with you. And then when you think like this, oh, this is maybe a little bit too much, and then Krishna, what he gives you the understanding, Sarvasachamya, they will go to hell. You don't have to bother about it. They are going to hell. But it's not for you to enjoy or see it. It's not for you to have something from it. But they will suffer. They are suffering now. They will suffer. They will go to hell. And then immediately you think about it and say, oh, compassion. I need compassion. Anger does not bring much. They will go to hell. They will suffer intensely. And I'm standing here because Krishna gives them the opportunity. He's using me as an instrument. And I can only survive if I develop understanding. Oh my God, you're going to hell. Just maybe look at it. Excuse me, look at it. Okay, thank you, goodbye. He looked at it. Haribol, he looked at the book. He is safe. Because now he looked at it, next time he will stop. But now at least he looked at it. Now he said, thank you. He said, thank you. He made advancement. Haribol, Jai. Thank you, Krishna. Successful service. The success is there. Success in our service is always there. Always there. If we try. To try is the perfection. Not according to our understanding what is the fruit. No? So much result has to be there if I make the endeavor for Krishna. But the result is up to Krishna. But he's so much pleased with a tiny advancement, even a tiny advancement. This one person who looks at the cover of the Bhagavad Gita and continues saying, is the same ecstasy and success in our spiritual life as hundreds of people who are coming and taking hundreds of Bhagavad Gitas. The quality is the same. The quality is the same. But our problem is the attachment to the result. No, I don't want only one person who looks at the Bhagavad Gita. I want 200 persons who take each one Bhagavad Gita because I want to do 200 today. So that is our problem. That's our problem. The attachment to the result. But the quality is up to. We can always have this quality of Krishna consciousness. So, but we need really to have good qualities, characteristics. You have to develop a good character, become free from this being attached to enjoy, and be detached, and just have the goal, the aim of doing the duty for the sake of pleasing Krishna. The goal of life is to satisfy and please Krishna by fulfilling our duty. The result is up to Krishna, but we do our best and Krishna will do the rest. As Arjuna, fighting for the sake of fighting without considering happiness and distress and so on. Hare Krishna. So at this point I would like to stop and ask you maybe you have any comment or any question or something you would like to add. Pasha was first. The Pasha, yes, please.
No question. I just thank you very much first of all for the nice lecture. I really find it amazing how like you went from these material emotions of fear, anger, and how you connected them, and how you went to the point of you wanted to get to compassion. Hare Krishna. Thank you. And one quotation from Srila Prabhupada, he says, fear of personal relationship is the cause of impersonalism. And I just find it related to what you said.
Can you repeat it again?
Fear of a personal relationship is the cause of
Cause.
impersonalism, meaning that this fear we have from being hurt from other people and so on is actually the cause we are impersonalists.
Yes, yes, true. Yes, thank you for this comment.
Thank you very much for the lecture.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Then, no one else?
Ja, ich möchte mich auch bei dir bedanken für die sehr interessante Lecture.
Hare Krishna.
Ich bin ja nun schon ein bisschen älter, ich habe schon so meine Erfahrungen gemacht und ich muss sagen, ich hatte eigentlich immer ein ganz angenehmes Leben. Aber die Beziehung, die ich zu Krishna entwickelt habe, das ist unübertrefflich für mich. Also das ist eine Gabe, die man da bekommt, was alles andere, was man mit allem anderen nicht erreichen kann. Ich hatte ein ganz gutes Zuhause, ich hatte eine sehr gute Ehe, in der mein Mann hatte mich mit Krishna-Bewusstsein belehrt. Aber dieser Austausch, den man mit Krishna haben kann, das ist unvergleichbar. Das ist so ein Geschenk. Und man möchte das natürlich den anderen gerne mitgeben, die man kennenlernt. Ein Teil ist dafür interessiert sich dafür in gewissem Maße und ein anderer Teil schreckt gleich zurück und sagt, ne, nicht für mich, ach was soll das, ach dann dürfte es nicht so viel Leid geben, dann dürfte es keine Krankheiten geben. Keiner sucht die Schuld bei sich, dass jeder für sein Leben selbst verantwortlich ist. Das ist den wenigsten eben bekannt, ja. Und das ist natürlich schade, dass viele der Menschen dann so blind in die Irre gehen.
Thank you.
Das war's schon.
Thank you. So, then, good, then stop here. Thank you very much. One more question. Oh, here.
Hello.
Hare Krishna.
Namaskar. Thank you very much for this wonderful spiritual lecture. I have one question. So, you mentioned this Raga, Bhaya, and Maya.
Krodha.
So, Krodha, Maya. So, Maya is very difficult in this materialistic world, but is it not possible to achieve Maya with attachment? So I believe attachment and detachment is very thin. There is a thin line between them. So means attachment is like, for an example, if you want to detach, so you can go away from everything. You go away from every materialistic stuff. You go away from your relationship. You have to leave Maya. Maya is not only about materialistic stuffs, but it's also about the relationship you maintain in this materialistic world. If I am right, then attachment is you want to maintain that relationship with whole world. So you keep on loving everyone so that you are fully attached, supremely attached, so that at the end you can be detached. For example, if you take like Mother Teresa. So she was still living in this materialistic world, but with love and compassion, she was so attached. She was attached with everyone, and finally she can be detached.
Well, Hare Krishna. Thank you for this question. Anasaktasya vishayan yatharan upayunchata nirbandha Krishna sambhada yukta varagya uchyate. As Srila Rupa Goswami explains, the renunciation, a real renunciation is the real understanding of being detached is to see everything in connection with Krishna.
Exactly.
That everything is connected with Krishna and belongs to Krishna, and therefore I take it, I don't neglect it. This detachment, we say it's pargovaraga, it's wrong detachment to neglect things. But we take things and we learn the art of using it and connecting it with Krishna. And in this way, it's not for me, it is for Krishna. So therefore, real renunciation is to use everything in Krishna's service. And such a person is really free from false ego. Not for me, not for my family, not for my state, not for my planet, whatever. But Krishna. So this universal, whatever you may have explained, actually it's about Krishna. So we are looking for Krishna. The secret of success in spiritual life is to know how to dovetail everything with Krishna's service. To use these flowers for Krishna, not with the intention to somehow enjoy it by myself. To use this bhoga which we have, I can cook something nice for Krishna. Therefore, if cooks are going in the kitchen, they always expand and expand. Always I want to cook, but always when I cook it becomes more and more and more because I get inspired and we have to do more for Krishna. So it's blissful to serve Krishna, to give everything for Krishna. And on the other side, we also see the proof that Krishna gives. And this is the thing which materialistic person, they cannot see. Because a materialistic person sees, you have to work and then you get something, isn't it? You have to build something and then you have a product. God, how do you say with God? Does God come and to every tree and put an apple on the tree? This is understanding of God. No, he may not come personally and put every apple on the tree, but it is Krishna because it's due to him that the apples are growing on the tree. And if he is pleased by our devotion and service, the Mother Earth will be so ecstatic that she will produce amounts of apples, jewels from the seas, and minerals from the mountains, and everything which we need to live happily in this life with every material necessities. But this secret is unknown to the materialists, and they also say, this God consciousness, we have to work. And this is stupid. And Prabhupada says, they are working hard, they are doing all these things, and we are just going there and taking it. Like we heard in the beginning, Prabhupada saw this castle or this house, and he thought it would be nice for Krishna. So devotee just goes there and he takes it, and they let them work hard, and we just take it for Krishna. This is intelligence. This is intelligence. Let them work hard, but Krishna, he gives just to us. Where does all the money come from? We get money from God. Prabhupada smiles. And he says, okay, you have seen our books, we get money from our books. But Krishna gives millions of dollars within a short time. Prabhupada got from Krishna. He used it for Krishna. Didn't get overwhelmed by it. Because Krishna is the richest father we have. He can give so much to us. He can give us the whole world in 2 days. He can spread his glories within a few days all over the world. No problem for Krishna. He can do it. But there is a reason why he is not doing it. What is the reason? He wants his devotees to personally come to you and say, take up Krishna consciousness. Krishna is our wonderful Lord. It's Krishna. You have forgotten Krishna. And so please take up again Krishna consciousness. So he wants to see our endeavor. So the secret of success is to combine everything with Krishna. And everything else is egoistic. That is our natural understanding. If you know Krishna, you know the light. And if you know the light, then you also know the darkness. Where there is light, there cannot be darkness. Better go to the light. Better go to Krishna. Only Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. It was very inspiring also the mood with how you explained how the mind from a state of like anger and wanting to achieve some results and then understanding that understanding that we need to see how actually the mercy of Krishna is coming, and be able to recognize the goodness of what happens around us, and not be stuck in our just achieving that goal and just finishing that service. And the disease that we have is that we are not able to understand the urgency, but also that we are not able to understand how much He loves us, because we are so caught up in our illusion that of our false ego. So I would like to ask you if you could explain a little bit how we can develop this mood of actually recognizing Krishna's mercy and Krishna's love that comes into our life, and really getting that urgency of we need to take it.
Thank you for this wonderful question. Well, Krishna loves us. Yes, we do not really understand. Yes, how can we get this urgency to devote ourselves more to Krishna, or to do more for Krishna, to be very eager and anxious to serve Krishna? To say, really, the boost, the turbo is association with devotees who have this. And this is Krishna's mercy, that He gives you the association of His advanced devotees. Because it can also be uncomfortable. It is the Guru's duty to make us uncomfortable. Because we are comfortably living here, everything is fine, chanting 60 rounds, Hare Krishna, taking nice prasadam, oh, Haribol. But real advancement, as you say, you will make when do you have a devotee around you who is like your guide, your leader, and he is pushing you. Not pushing you with words like we hear it, we know it from there, like your boss, but he's just pushing you with his association. You cannot be silent, you don't get any peace, because this devotee is so much engaged in devotional service, constantly doing more and more and more, and you also get this fire, and you also want to do more and more and more, and it doesn't work. It does work at him, but it doesn't work at me. Oh, I have to do more. Oh, it's so anstrengend, exhausting, you know. So this is Krishna's mercy. He gives you the mercy. He gives you the association of His devotees who are on a higher platform, and then you come out of your comfort zone. So what can you do for this? You can only pray to Krishna, and Krishna decides whether He will do it and how He will do it. He already knows now, but you can pray to Krishna. Please give me the right understanding. Please let me be prepared when your mercy comes. Your mercy will come. Please then let me be prepared and have the right attitude, because to come in an uncomfortable situation is really something you actually you do not want. But it's good for you. In the end, it is good for you. In the beginning, like poison. At the end, pure nectar. The best that could happen to you. So, staying in the association of devotees, and let's wait, see for the mercy of Krishna. And when the mercy of Krishna is there, then take it. Once a devotee told me, be a yes man or be a yes woman. Yes, we take it. Excuse me, can you do this? Yes. Excuse me, would you like to come with us in Sankirtan? Yes, we go. Now we got 2 weeks in Sankirtan? Yes, I will also go. Yes, you have to be a yes man. Be prepared for the mercy of Krishna, it will come. And just say yes and take it. Krishna can give you with 10 hands, He can give you so much. How much can you take with 2 hands? He will give. He's giving already now. And He's continuing showering His mercy through the Guru. And we just be here and accept and take it. Take the mercy. Swimming. Let's continue swimming in the ocean of nectar of Krishna consciousness. And be happy. Hare Krishna. This is okay. Then, thank you very much. Grandara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.